that being said, okay, you're going to do the exact same thing, doing the exact same thing as substitution and the graphing. We're trying to find the point of intersection between two lines. Okay. Your success criteria, okay, is that you're able to manipulate the equations you get, okay, which you've been doing lots of, and then perform a mathematical operation to eliminate one of the variables, okay, which will mean more in a sec. Okay, so recall, okay, we've learned two methods so far for solving, two big methods. One was graphing. The second one was algebra, or algebraic.
Oh, it's not substitution.
Just one sec. Algebra. Now, algebra got broken into substitution and elimination. Okay, so basically you have three tools. Okay, graphing, which isn't the greatest. We saw it's not the most accurate. It's not going to solve all the questions for you. Substitution and elimination will solve all the questions for you. One is sometimes better than the other. That's why we're showing you both. Okay. So here's the scoop. You have two equations, 1 and 2. Exact same what it would look like for substitution, right? Except this time, instead of rearranging to get one variable and plugging it into the other equation, we can just perform a mathematical operation like subtraction. I'm going to do the top equation. So subtract 2 from 1. What do you think is going to happen? So remember, I'm basically just doing the math that you see here. Okay. So I have 1x in front of both those. Okay, so I'm going to go 1x minus 1x. What is that? 0x. That's the elimination. I've eliminated one of the variables because I've done the subtraction on it. Okay? It was a lot quicker in some instances, if it's not ugly with decimals and stuff. Okay? What is, I'll change the color, negative 3 minus 2. Negative 5y is equal to negative, highlighter, negative 2 minus 8. So no longer, we don't have the x is gone. You get negative 5y is equal to negative 10. Divide both sides by negative 5. Okay. Any issues? Do we like this one better?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mix with everybody. Okay. It works better in certain scenarios. Okay. Now, are we done? No. Good answer. Okay. We still got to find the x value. Okay. So to find x, we're just going to pick an equation. It doesn't matter, 1 or 2, whatever one looks easier. I'm going to pick the first one. Okay, and I'm just going to rearrange it to get x by itself. Or you can plug it in right away. It doesn't matter to me, actually. If you want to plug the y value in right away, that's fine. X minus 3 times 2 is equal to negative 2. X minus 6 is equal to negative 2. Now I have to add 6 to both sides. These are a wash now. So x is equal to 4. Okay, and then my point of intersection is 4, 2. Everybody see that okay? This is like kind of I like this one. That's pretty quick. You're going to see in number 2, we don't know what to do here for a second, okay? Everybody got that down? Okay. So we look at number 2. What's the problem with number 2?
We do not have two variables that are already isolated. You don't just have like A for B.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't have, so the word you're looking for is coefficients,
Yeah.
right? The coefficients, you don't have two coefficients that match. So we can't do the subtraction thing, right? What you can do is multiply the second one by 2, the whole thing. Okay, so what ends up happening, and what you do to one side, you do the other, doesn't change the equation, right? So if I multiply the second one, sorry, I don't know why I chose 2. 1 sec. 3. Pick 3. I was looking at the 2 here. If I multiply this by 3 in its entirety, I'm going to get something like this. 3a minus 6b is equal to 33. Is everybody okay? All I did was multiply everything by 3, okay? Both sides. Okay? Now I have this kind of new equation, but it's not really a new equation. It's just the last one as a scalar multiple. Okay? But the thing that you can see now is if I were to subtract, well, I could call this if you want. We can call this equation 3. It's not really anything new. 1, 2, 3. If I subtract 3 from 1, right, then I'm going to get what? I'll rewrite it over here. 3a plus b equals 5 minus, because I'm subtracting, 3a minus 6b equal to 33. Okay? What's going to happen? I'll highlight the whole term. 3a minus 3a, 0 a's. They're gone. I've eliminated the a's. Okay. There's a 1 in front of the b. 1b minus negative 6b. Now you be careful with this. Here's what we got. I've got 1b minus negative 6b. What does that turn into? 7. Okay, 2 negatives make a positive, right? If I were to distribute the negative 1 that's here in, it'll be 1b plus 6b. Okay, you gotta be careful with that. That's where you can get a, yep.
Wait, so you're minus, like you're like subtracting it,
Yeah.
so it becomes a positive because that's not like multiplication.
Well, it is kind of like multiplication, right? Like I've got, if you look here at this line, there's kind of like an imaginary 1 out front, right? Here, I'll write in a different color so you can see it. Like, this is going to be a point of issue for a lot of people, okay? It's like negative 1 multiplied by negative 6. What is that?
But like, so that means that's like, so doing that, like subtracting, that's what that actually means.
So here in words, subtracting a negative equals addition. That's just what's happening in words. Okay, that's all. If you have a number minus a negative number, you got to add it. Okay? Are we okay? I'm going to try and save some space here. Okay? So I've got 0a, and then we've determined that 7b is from 1b minus a negative 6, right? So plus 7b. What's 5 take away 33?
Negative 28.
Thank you. Okay, so you just get 7b is equal to negative 28. Divide both sides by 7. All right? Well, the 7's cancel. B is equal to, what's negative 28 divided by 7?
-4.
Good. Okay? Are we done? Good. I still have to find the x value, or the a value. Okay? I'm liking, again, all number 2 and 3 are the same equation. Just one's bigger than the other is all, right? Why can't I would just choose, it doesn't matter which one you pick. I'm going to pick 2 just because I think it looks the easiest, right? So plug this into number 2. Find a. Okay, so a minus 2 times negative 4 is equal to 11. Negative 2. Okay, remember this whole piece is being multiplied into here. Negative 2 times negative 4. Okay. And then so a is equal to 11 minus 8. Okay? I'll try to, on the test, I know like when you write the point of intersection here now, there's a problem. What's the problem? Which one goes first? I don't know. Yeah, A and B, which one goes first? Okay, what comes first, X or Y? Okay, so I just follow that general rule. That's my, so if I do happen to give you a test question that there's some funny letters, just go in alphabetical order, okay? If it's not X and Y. I'll try to give you questions that are just X and Y, so there's no confusion. But it's 3 and 4, negative 4. Everybody okay? This one's a little bit nicer, a little like lighter in terms of the thought, the amount of thinking effort going into it. Okay. But some of the skills we built in substitution are like useful in this method too, right? When you get a value for one of the pieces, it's the same thing as substitution. Now we're just plugging it into one of the other equations, right? And we get the other piece. Okay. Make sense? Okay, we'll do one more. Okay. My general rule of thumb is like I try to like get the equal number of pieces on either side of the equal sign and try to match up the variables. So when I subtract them, it's straightforward. Okay. So with this one, you can see things are a little bit out of jumble. Okay. But if I were to take the negative 2 here and move it to the other side, then it would kind of match up with the 3y. Right, so I'm just going to rewrite number 1. Okay. So I'm going to go 3x is equal to 2 plus 2y. You can see how everything kind of matches up a little bit better now, right?
Wait, does it matter if you were to do that and move the negative 2y to that side, or if you were to go to the bottom and move the negative 3?
Nope. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Question is, can I take this and move it to the other side? That doesn't matter. That's just whatever my eye grabbed first, right? You guys are going to see different stuff. Doesn't change the process. The important part is that these pieces line up. The y's are on top of the y's, and then, you know, the numbers are on top of the numbers, and then the x's are over here on top of each other. So that when you go to subtract them, right, they just cancel each other. That make sense? Now, we're still kind of stuck though, right? What do you want to eliminate? X's or Y's? This is a little bit harder. This is making me think. Well, not me. Yeah. Tobias.
Go with y and just multiply the top by 1.5.
Okay. Okay. Let's avoid, for the very moment, let's avoid multiplying by weird numbers, okay?
Multiply the top by 3, bottom by
Okay, yeah. So this is like creating a common denominator now, right? You're going to see, okay, 3 can go into 6, 2 can go into 6. Okay? If I multiply the top one by 2, and I multiply the bottom one by 3, I'm going to get 6's for the y's. Okay, but you're not just after the y, you're going to do it to the whole, both equations, both pieces, right? So, just one extra step, that's all you're going to do. You're going to rewrite these two equations with scaled multiples of one another, okay? So I'm going to multiply this guy and this guy by their multiples, okay? So I'm going to get negative 20x is equal to 16 minus 6y. Okay? And then in the bottom one, I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 3. 9x is equal to 6 plus 6y. We okay? This is as hard as it come, aside from having decimals and things. This is as hard as you're going to get for the test, per se. Yeah, Coco.
I'm sorry. So, how did it go to like negative 20x?
So all I did was this equation here,
Oh, you're timesing the whole, multiplying the whole.
whole thing, yeah. So for the sole purpose of, I'll show you in a sec. Let me highlight the second one so everybody's clear where what came from where. Okay. Your whole point of doing this is to get these two to match. Or something, a variable, an x or a y, right? You want these to match. See, I have negative 6y and I have 6y. That's the whole point. It's at this stage now. What am I going to do? You need to pick, and this is why I said from the beginning, you're going to pick an order of operation. It might not always be subtraction. What would happen if I subtracted, let's call this 2 and 1. What would happen if I subtracted 2 from 1? I'm going to get negative 6y minus 6y. You just add it. Okay, what would this equal? This would be negative 12. That's not what I was trying to do. But if I decided to add the two equations together, I get negative 6 plus 6y is 0y. That looks like a 6. So what I mean by make a decision around what you're going to put here. If you're going to subtract or if you're going to add. Is everybody okay? Again, this is as hard as it's going to get for the purposes of your test Thursday. Okay. The idea is going to stay the same when we kick it up a notch. So it's just fractions and decimals, that's all. Okay. We'll do that tomorrow. Okay. So now we just do the same process. We know that this is going to cancel now, the y's, right? Because we just showed it. So I'm going to move that up here. Okay. So I'm going to get 0y over here. 16 plus 6. Right? Remember, I'm going 16 plus the 6 is 22. Okay. And then I'm going to do negative 20 plus 9. What's that? The equal signs carry down too, right? Negative 20 plus 9 is going to be negative 11. X. Okay. Now you're left with negative 11x is equal to 22. X is equal to 22 divided by negative 11. Okay. Once you have that, it's the same as all the other questions we've done today. You plug it into one of the equations up top and solve. Okay, let's pick the first one. Doesn't matter which one you pick, but it's 3 times negative 2 minus 2y is equal to 2. Okay, and remember, this time I'm after y. I did things a little bit backwards this time. I solved for x first. Okay, just a little bit different, that's all. Okay, negative 6 minus 2y is equal to 2. Negative 2y. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. Is equal to 8. Y is equal to 8 divided by negative 2. So then my point of intersection okay. We're going to do the same thing we wrote with substitution. I can give you some steps and then we'll be done, okay? And I'll hand out the homework and then you guys got lots of time to work on stuff, okay? You got a test review, which I'll hand out if you don't have it, and then the homework questions for elimination, okay? And then I want to do 2 questions that were on that quiz, okay? That's all. That'll be it for today, okay? Just get a bit of time. This shouldn't take too long. Okay? Steps. Does anybody want to help me with the steps? What was the first thing we needed to make sure? Yeah?
Have 2 equal coefficients.
Yeah, okay. What about the alignment of the variables? It doesn't matter. You can do both at the same time. I would say let's line up the variables. Okay, and so by that I mean like ax plus b. Okay, you just want to make them line up. Doesn't have to be in that order. It can just, you just got to line them up. A's with A's and B's with B's, the coefficients. Second step, make one let's say make 2 matching.
Have a pair of equal coefficients.
Okay, yeah, good. This is why I was asking for help. Make a pair. What was it?
Have a pair of equal coefficients, or make a pair, or whatever.
Let's say make a pair of equal coefficients. Does everybody know what coefficients are? The coefficients, we'll highlight them in yellow, are the A's or the B's. Okay, coefficients go in front of variables. Okay? Okay, you guys can write that down if you need it. Okay? Then, third step is what? It's perform a mathematical operation. Okay, addition or subtraction that makes the coefficients. I'm sorry if I didn't leave you enough room. I don't know how much room's on your page. From 2 cancel. Okay. From there, solve for the variable that didn't cancel. Okay. 5. Find okay. Everybody okay? Can I just go back and show you guys something? Because this is I'm gonna put it as a step 7. You can put this under your substitution as well. Okay. Check. Okay. If you're in doubt, check it. Okay. If I ask you to check it, show me the checking work. Okay.
What does it say? Check what?
Left side equals right side. I'll discuss it. I don't think I did a good enough job explaining that just based on your quizzes the other day on Friday. So we'll go over that question on a quiz and that'll make sense in a sec, okay? That'll be it for the lesson though. Okay, and I'll go over the quiz question that I want to address that with. Okay? Just know that they're the same concept. Checking. Okay? Okay?